Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It's Jamar from Vegas Scents, and in this video I'm giving you all my final thoughts on the new fragrance from Lattafa. That's by D Al Oud Honor and Glory. And anyone that's brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, anyone watching, leave a like and a comment below. All right, so this is, in my opinion, this is easily my favorite fragrance out of the entire sort of by D Al Oud line. Just the way that this smells, this is like super high quality. It's really fresh. It has just the right amount of sort of sweetness, just the right amount of spices, and this really, it has pretty good performance as well. This, as I stated in the previous video, this is pretty much like a sort of sparkly pineapple, sparkly fresh sort of pineapple that you get in the immediate opening. And even though the pineapple note is something that kind of sticks around throughout the whole entire life of the fragrance, it does start to die down and sort of get overtaken by, I would say, like the vanilla and spices that are in this particular fragrance. So if I were to compare this to like a type of food or something like that, I would say that this is definitely going to be kind of like a sort of spicy, vanillic sort of pineapple upside down cake. That's the best way for me to describe this. But like I said, at the same time, this isn't like super sweet to where, it's like sickeningly sweet. I don't really get that from this particular fragrance. And then also the texture of this particular fragrance, at least for me anyway, is really sort of aromatic, and I would say a little bit more like on the lighter side. Now, I did state in the previous video that I thought maybe this could be like a Ani X clone, and so I did go ahead and actually purchase a sample of Ani X. And what I can say is, I do think that they were possibly going for aspects of Ani X. And possibly they could have been trying to go for Ani X, but they added their own twist on the fragrance. Ani X is definitely, it has the same sort of fresh sort of feel that this particular fragrance has. But in my opinion, it's still a little bit more sort of sweeter and slightly more dense than, what the Lattafa is. Also in the Ani X, the fruit notes that you get with this, it's like a sort of melon sort of fruity sweetness, as opposed to like the really sort of fresh pineapple that you get with the Lattafa. So I do think that there are similarities between these two, just slight similarities. So I mean, possibly this could have been an inspiration for the Lattafa, as sort of like a base idea, as as far as what they wanted to make the fragrance smell like. But all in all, this is going to be a different fragrance than what Ani X is, and definitely I would say different from Ani as well. So pretty much, in terms of the performance with this particular fragrance, the performance, like I said, is really good. Performance wise, I'm getting at least like 9 to 10 hours or so on my skin, which is really good. And this projects really good on me as well for, I would say, at least like the first 2 to 2.5 hours. So absolutely amazing performance on this one. And then also, man, the sillage on this is really good as well. This is definitely one of those fragrances that it definitely sort of hangs in the air. So, I mean, you're going to be leaving a nice scent trail as you kind of walk into or leave rooms. So people are definitely, they're going to smell you when you're wearing this particular fragrance. And I mean, I think that this is definitely a fragrance that a lot of people are going to like. I don't really see too many people not liking this fragrance. Now, maybe you may have some people that may choose not to wear this particular fragrance because maybe it might be too sweet for them. But I think in terms of like smelling this on another person, like I don't really see how anyone could dislike the way that this smells. I think this is a really sort of safe, but at the same time, unique type of fragrance. Because I mean, even though I would say it has some similarities to the Ani X, it's still, in my opinion, its own fragrance. And I mean, as I have Ani X sprayed on this hand, and I have the Lattafa on this one. Definitely, I could say as the Ani X is starting to dry down, it is starting to become a little bit more sort of similar to the way that this smells, and especially in terms of like the freshness. I do think that I'm getting a little bit more sort of spice from the Ani X, and probably even a little bit more vanilla. But this is starting to become a lot more sort of fresher, just like the way that the Lattafa is. Like I said, the main difference though is they're using different fruits, so that makes them smell differently. And the pineapple in this, like I said, is amazing. All right, so in terms of when I would recommend, anyone wear this particular fragrance, I'm gonna say that this is definitely a really good sort of early summer fragrance, late spring, and I would say probably even like early fall is a really nice time to probably wear this fragrance. I still don't think that this has enough strength to really, make it through like a winter. Like I said, this is like a really fresh, but at the same time kind of vanillic and sweet scent. So I mean, even though it has that sort of vanillic base to it, I don't necessarily see this having enough strength to really, sort of project like in the wintertime. All right. So overall, man, I would have to give this particular fragrance, if I'm giving this a rating on a scale from 1 to 10, I would have to give this fragrance a 9 out of 10, honestly. This is a really nice pickup. I'm glad that I just went ahead and picked this one up blindly, because I've been pleasantly surprised by, how great this one smells. And I plan to wear this one a lot. All right. So if you're looking for a really sort of, I would say versatile, unisex, kind of slightly sweet, but at the same time sort of aromatic type of fragrance, then this is absolutely one that I would recommend. Maybe if you haven't picked this particular fragrance up yet, maybe I would say wait a little bit until like the price, starts to drop on this. Normally with these, new Lattafa Badi Al Oud releases, when they first come out, they're as expensive as they will be. And then as the months start to go by, they start to drop down into like that sort of, $30 range, $40. So I would maybe say wait until that happens. But I mean, if money really isn't a thing for you, and you absolutely feel like you have to have this, then I would say absolutely go ahead and pick it up. I picked this one up from oudstore.com for, I think it was $59.99. So definitely a little bit on the high side for a Badi Al Oud series fragrance. But again, in my opinion, I think that this is still worth that price tag for the quality that you get with this particular fragrance. All right. So that's my take on Lattafa's Badi Al Oud Honor and Glory. Let me know what you all think about this fragrance. Have you all picked this up yet? Have you been able to, get your nose on it? And what do you think about this particular release from Lattafa? All right. So let me know in the comments below, man. Also, again, anyone that's brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And once again, that's Jamar from Vegas Sense. I'll see you on the next video.